I don't know why, but today I felt like I should do an eyebrow tutorial. So, as you can see, my eyebrows are thin. And on this side, I actually had a cut when I was younger. So, I'm not a professional or anything like that. I'm just going to do what I do on a daily basis. Have a few things that I use. It's so old, I don't even know what the name of it is anymore. As you can see this stick right here. It's kind of a wider one. Then I have this one by Kiss. It's kind of got like an angle on it. So sometimes I use that one to outline. Then I have this one by Eyebrow. It's got like a point. So when I'm done, if I want to, you know, define it a little bit more. So sometimes I start with the angle one, or sometimes I start with the round one. It really doesn't matter. So today I guess I'll start with the angle one. First of all, what I do is I make sure that my eyebrows are free of any oil or anything like that, because I put a lot of like oils on my face, whether it be coconut oil or grapeseed oil, avocado oil. I put a lot of those oils on my face. So we're going to dry that off. And I just brush them. This way, don't mind my shirt, I was eating some noodles. And I'll start by using this one. I'll give myself an outline. I usually keep like a, what are them damn things you clean your ears out with? Q-tip. Just in case I go like too far out the lines or something like that. So I kind of shape it up. This one. So at the bottom, I take my line all the way to the middle, but at the top I don't. I stop like right here, because you want to keep this part like a little natural, so it doesn't look like a box at the end of your eyebrow. I haven't used this in a while, but it filled in pretty good for me. As you can see. Let me get this off of my camera. Okay. Start the other side. I always wanted to do one of these videos. I'm not going to share it with anybody except my daughters anyway. And I'm sure they'll have some critique for me, whatever. I've actually forgotten how good this angle brush works. I mean, this angle one works. Works pretty good. I can see it coming together. I also keep like one of these things right here in case you have to clean up like any extra brows. Also, I usually keep a tweezer with me as well, just to keep things clean and neat. I'm just cleaning up some extra hair right here because I don't want my lines to be so fat, so I have to clean it up a little bit under there. So I did that. So let's finish outlining the other one. I try my best to keep, the line of my eyebrows as close to where it is naturally. I don't like to make them bigger than, what they're supposed to be. And I really don't like them really dark. So the eyeliners I get, colors, I never get black. I try to get as close to brown as possible. And I really don't even like the dark brown so much because the dark browns can come out too black. But what happens is if it comes out too dark to me, I'll just go over it and kind of like reshape, shade some of it out. Because that can happen. So I don't know if today I want to fill it in with this or if I want to fill it in with my other one. We'll see as I go. And I actually think I am going to fill it in with my other one, because this one is a little bit lighter than the one I used to outline it. So I'll outline it with the darker one and fill it in with this one. Trying to keep my lines as tight as possible. But I will, go over them with the thin pen once I'm done. So you can see how this is coming in. So I'll line this one. Finish filling this one in. And right now it's looking a little dark to me. But as I said, when I start brushing it, I'll lighten it up a little bit. So that's getting a little thick to me right there, but no worries. I know how to thin it out. Okay, let me put my camera back. Okay. So then I'll take my little brush and brush it in to try to make sure that I don't have like any too light spaces. You know what I mean? Like I want it to be even out. So let's go to this part. I usually just blend in that bottom line like that. I start blending it in a little bit to like erase that line that I got down there. I'll just start blending it in. A little. Yeah, see this one how thin it is right here, and this one is thicker. So I'm gonna try to get some of that off. Thin it back out. I use this brush right here. Which is also like my eyeshadow brush. Also, I'm going to thin it out when I put the concealer on there too. So my next step is I usually take like a little bit of mascara to try to bring out my, natural eyebrows right here a little bit, because this eyebrow is thinner on this side than this one. So I just go very lightly with this. To like make that eyebrow right there show up some. because they're so thin right there. Still trying to keep it light though, because you want it to like fade in together. You know, like fade in where it gets light to dark. So what I usually do is sometimes I will take this brush too and go over this just to even out my eyebrows. So how it looks so far. I'm going to, I wish I stopped picking my face, but anyway. I'm going to finish doing some other things to it. Okay, now I'll go back over with this one, because if I've made it too dark, I want to lighten it up. So let me wipe my brush off a little bit. So I'll go back and lighten it, because I definitely don't want this too dark, even if I got to go back with my fingers and take some of that off. It's kind of sort of should blend in to go from light to dark here. This eyebrow I have a problem with because, like I said, my eyebrows don't go up so far. So actually, what I'll do is I'll take this thin one and kind of like make me some eyebrows, like lines. I'll make lines with it. And then also I'll take it and go back around and make sure my lines are good with this one with the point. Under the bottom too. It kind of like helps you round it off. Okay, so then I have like two different type of concealers. Really not the ones that I like. The one that I really like, I don't have anymore. So the one I really like is this one. But as you can see, I've used it up to death. It's not anything in it. So I have this one. Put it on my hand so you can see. I have that one. I don't even know the name. I just be picking up stuff. And then, haven't gotten into name brand yet. I also have this one, which you can see when you put the brush back in there, the brush kind of gets messed up. So, let me wipe some off before I put it on here. So I have two of them. They're actually almost the same color. I don't really know what I'm going to go with today. I'm just going to start. So if I start with this one, I have to be careful because as you can see, this brush is big. Sometimes I try not to put it right on my eyebrow because if you have to go over with a brush, sometimes that brush will go into the good eyebrow that you just did. So I try to be careful and not put it so far and so close sometimes. Let me see if y'all can see this. So here's where I can thin it out to make it match the other side. I usually just go ahead and put it over my eyelid so it can all blend together. Again, I am not a professional. This is just how I do mine. I'm learning. So I'll go ahead and use, this one is what I usually use to like blend it in. And I don't really get too close to the edges with this one. I kind of like just go over the top because I have another one that I use. Looks like I need to clean up that line a little bit right there. I will in a second. What I do is take the thin one that I got, try to fix that line a little bit cleaner to me. So, finishing up with this brush here. Then what I do is when I want to get really close to the edges, I'll use this one. Okay. Now let's take the other side. Do the other side actually. See if I can bring my camera. I have to go back to the mirror, y'all, because I can't see. I know I'm covering it up, but I'll show you. Some people go all the way down with theirs like this, you know, to make that kind of unibrow connection with it. Again, I gotta be careful with this brush because, like I said, the bristles have bent up. But then I'll take this brush again. Start cleaning it up. Again, I don't get too close to my actual eyebrow up there with this one because it's too easy to mess it up. And then here, like I said, my eyebrow was cut, so I have to do a lot of playing around with this area because there's a little dip in there. I usually take my other one to like go in there to try to make it even. Okay, so then I'll take this one again to get closer. And as you can see, like there's a little dip right here where I maybe went in too much with the concealer. So first I clean it up a little bit with this brush. So I can clean it up a little bit with this brush, or I can go back through with this one. To make my lines a little bit more crispy. But then I have to blend it in because you could probably see that there's a line right there. This one I try not to be obsessed with because I'll usually go back over to make sure they're rounded just right. But then I'll end up sometimes doing too much and then have to redo it. So I'm going to try to fix this little dip right here. Much as I can. So that's about the extent of it. Then I'll be able to fix it without keep going in and messing it up. So I'll take this brush and try to blend that line in that I did. It's all about blending, keep blending, keep blending. Trying to take that line out that I got at the bottom. To make it look more natural. Like this one you don't really see a line, but this one you can. So I don't know whether to go in and make this one have a line. Let's try that. You'll find with eyebrows, like you'll get one that's perfect and the other one won't be. So that happens. And with this, I can go in and shade in any like light areas that don't blend in together. I can take this one in. It'll blend in for me. So I think I'm actually almost done. This one is still a little bit too thick for me at the end. So what I'll do is I usually put some concealer on my paper towel. And then I'll put some on the end of here. And then I'll try to fix it that way. Then I have to blend it in a little bit. I use this. My eyebrows take the longest for me to do. Like in the morning. They definitely take the longest time. So, see this one is a little bit uneven right here. As opposed to this one. Let me look at it for a minute to see how I can fix it. Let me see. Like I said, you'll definitely end up liking one side of your eyebrows better than the other one. Like I said, you'll get a perfect one and a one that's like, okay, I don't want to be like that one over there. So I just keep going. Cover up some of these spots that I keep picking with on my face. I'm using a daily regimen to help them go away. Using my concealer. Okay, I think I'm liking it much better now. I'll take my little sponge and like smudge in those dark spots. And I finish it up, cover, sponging them in when I do the rest of my actual makeup. Right now, I just blot it. There's also another concealer you can use for dark spots. I use it sometimes, but sometimes I don't blend it in so well, and then it makes me look like I got orange spots on my face. So I usually just stick with this one. So here is the finished product of my eyebrows. I kind of like this one better because it looks more like an ombre. Trust me, you'll get obsessed with trying to fix them and trying to make them look even. But don't get too obsessed because you'll end up, sometimes I've had to do my eyebrows all over with trying to make them look uniform. So that is my eyebrow tutorial.